Hi there, Leo, and welcome to your monthly video. Apollo is hanging out, just getting up from a nap, so I thought I would bring him in here for the hello portion. As you know, each and every month you can use this for your sun, your rising, and for your moon sign. Also, if there's someone in your life that you love and that you want to kind of look in on, you can also use this forecast for that. Thanks, buddy. Additionally, let me just go through how this is organized. I like to separate it into a few different parts. We start off with channeled information, and we'll talk about that in just a second. And then I move along to a full Celtic cross where I look at all of the information and overview for the month. And I end with some specific information in health, wealth, love, and destiny. All right, Apollo wanted to get back to his nap, so he's right there, but I wanted to let you know where he was. Let's go ahead now and get back to business here. I just wanted to mention that if you like what you're seeing here and you would like to either share it or get involved, give back a little bit, I'll put information at the very end of the video on how to do so. I'll also put a little bit here below. But I like to focus on the whole reason you came here, which is getting into the forecast. So stick around till the end if you want to learn more. Otherwise, let's talk about your channeled information for this month. Each and every month, I get started by selecting a deck of cards that I'll be using for your sign. I put that down and I start to meditate over top of it to see what kind of energy and information is coming through for you. As I did that for your sign this month, the key image that came to me visually was really watching how you were moving. I wrote down the following in automatic writing. I said, pace yourself. And then I also wrote to basically take things step by step. Because in some of the meditation, I could kind of see that you were getting ahead of yourself. And although it was kind of symbolic, that could cause a misstep. And so when we're looking at on a sort of symbolic level, what that pacing or step by step means is if you're trying to get something done, maybe it's, the sale of a house, or you're trying to finish up a project or sign a contract, I really want you to take the time this month to not hurry, to sort of check in and think, is this the right time to do it? Look at all the wording, make sure that something hasn't been left out. And if you need to talk to someone, make sure that they're there. A second set of eyes or a second set of ears on whatever it is that you're sort of looking at, it's going to be really important for you. So don't rush, in other words. And the other thing is when we're just looking at how you move through the month, the message there is really just to not take anything for granted. Sometimes we are so worried about trying to complete something. It could be getting through college and just getting the degree. It could be trying to finish everything on our to-do list just so that we feel good that we are not present in the day-to-day. And being present could be, as you saw at the beginning of the video, taking a moment, just enjoying the company of a pet, a friend, your child, celebrating the little tiny things that make every day worthwhile. So on a day-to-day basis, I'd really love for you to find a way to take an extra 5, 10, maybe even 15 minutes and spend it doing something you love or spend it with people whom you love. So this could be, again, just getting home a little bit early and hanging out with your friends, your family, or a loved one. Like for me, it's the dog. Just doing something that connects and opens your heart space. And I think that's going to be great. And it's just going to make you feel like you understand why you're working so hard or what's important in your life. It's a way of grounding yourself. And when you do that, when you take your time as well, you're going to be in a much, much better place. Try not to distract yourself if you're driving, riding a bicycle, motorcycle, or other form of transportation, or even if you're just walking, because one thing that I did see in the meditation was a misstep. The more present you are as you pace yourself, the better you're going to be, the healthier you're going to be, and the more you can hopefully avoid something like that. All right, let's take a look now and see what the cards have to say for this month. A quick reminder, at this point I'm going to remain quiet as I lay out the Celtic cross, but right after it's been assembled, I will pull each card up and we'll talk about how it's going to factor into the month ahead. In your catalyst position this month, we have the turtle. What a beautiful animal totem to come through, and I'm sure you noticed the connection between the channeled information, pacing yourself, taking things literally one step at a time, and we're seeing that illustrated right here in this totem. Another thing that I like about this card is there's a sense of being grounded and knowing your priorities. To me, a turtle can represent the earth in many mythologies. Sometimes that's what it's symbolic of, is actually the whole world is on the back of the turtle. And so I want you to think of things that you really care about each day and take them with you. Take them with you in your heart, make time for them in your space. There's a little bit of an element of the Fool with the turtle because the Fool carries a knapsack. The turtle really has everything it needs right there. Its house, its security is with it. So if you're secure in yourself, if you know what you're doing, if you know the timing in which things have to happen, you no longer are kind of swayed by opinions around you. You'll know when it's important to push back. You'll know when you have to hurry up. But the important thing is you're kind of tuning into yourself. It's a very self-contained month, and you can't rush things that have to happen in a certain amount of time. So plan accordingly, ground yourself, set your priorities, say no if and when you can. And if you do this, I think you'll be in a really good position for the beginning of the month. At the center, you have the Four of Pentacles. The card is reversed, and let me just pull it in the upright position so you can see it. I really like this particular illustration because it shows the sort of fear-based energy that can exist within the Four of Pentacles. A lot of times there's this feeling of, will I have enough? Enough love, enough money, enough time? Not surprisingly, this usually comes up because there was a period in the past where the rhetorical answer to that was, of course, no. There was something that came through where you didn't have enough, someone didn't support you, or they didn't show up in the way that you expected it. Oftentimes what this will do is it kind of gives us an excuse to create an onion skin or some sort of a layer of protection around us, where if we keep building up walls of fear, of pushing people away, then we won't get hurt again. And so the fear-based energy of the Four of Pentacles is, I have to hold on really tight because it's going to go away. And I'm afraid to try this because maybe I'll fail and I'll lose. So what I want you to do this month is meditate on your self-worth. And I want you to think of any sort of triggers in the past where someone didn't show up. Maybe you didn't get paid as much as you should have been, or you didn't get paid full stop on something. And so whatever has gone on where someone denied you your worth, in words, in actions, or symbolically, I want you in your mind to think that that doesn't mean that you aren't worth something, and it also doesn't mean that there is a cycle at play here. It just means that that person took something from you. And what you want to do now is, in your mind, think, I will not allow that to happen again, and I will not let fear prevent me from new opportunities, because that would be the great tragedy here, is that one person did something to sort of shake your confidence, and then you are forever pushed into another direction. What we're going to do this month is pull you back on path and help you realize that you are worth people's time, energy, and attention or affection. What happened in the past is in the past. It does not define the present, nor does it indicate a pattern for the future. You are more powerful than that situation, and by opening yourself up to new opportunities, then you can disprove the fear that was the Four of Pentacles, and you're going to let this fall away, let this feeling fall away. The Four of Pentacles is modified by the Empress card. The Empress card is fertile, it's transformative, and it's a card of ownership. If we pull the card a little bit closer, you'll notice the butterflies on there. Much like the turtle at the beginning here, there is a slow process of evolution and metamorphosis that is a part of becoming that butterfly. So for some of you, the Four of Pentacles could just indicate that. Something starts slower than you expect, but as I'm looking here at the deep past, I see growth, I see potential. It's just going to take some time. So give it that time and don't give up. The Empress is someone who can inspire others, who can lead others, who can change things. She's an alchemist on some levels. So if there's something that's not working, change it, but be patient with it. Give it the time to grow, to change, and to develop into that symbolic butterfly in your life. I spotlighted this already, but I just want to mention it again. In the deep past, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Some of you may have started something new in your life. This could be a project, an endeavor. It could also be pregnancy, or again, some sort of creation or birthing of something new. As we're looking at what effect this could have on you, it feels like it's pulling good people into your life. In recent past, we have the Lovers card. Again, I see a connection of some of you starting a family. This could also, for those of you in business, mean that you're putting a lot of energy and time into something new and you're trying to find the right people. I love the Lovers card no matter where you are in relationships, because it shows that you have an energy to inspire those around you. And when you couple that with the Empress card, they're really cards of empowerment, which is why I'm not worried about the Four of Pentacles at the center. You have the energy, the power, and the influence to make a change, to influence people, to get out of a situation if you need to. We've already talked about the turtle at the beginning, which is slow, pacing, grounding. We talked about the butterfly at the center, which was showing a need to sort of take time for change, development, and evolution. And your crowning card fits nicely into this theme of not rushing. Four of Swords. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. Make sure that you're literally sort of nurturing and pampering yourself. The Four of Swords is really important when it comes to knowing that you're gonna, when we talked about pacing, there are points in your life that you have to really just sort of run and go for it. It's like a marathon. There are other points where you need to rest and get ready. That's what this month is shaping up to be for you. So don't get anxious if you're kind of the type A planner who likes to make sure that everything's going on and always be busy. If there's a lull in business, if there's a lull in social activity, if you're just feeling like, why isn't more going on? It's because the universe is giving you a break. Take the break, rest, sleep, nurture yourself, get caught up on other things. And if you've done everything, just watch some television or read a book or try to decompress, because I don't think it's going to last for long. When I'm looking at the near future, I have the Ten of Wands. This is showing me things are going to pick up. Some of you may be challenged to move, to take a vacation, to do some traveling, and or possibly to even work with people abroad, overseas. So you're not going to be rooted and positioned in this one place for too long. And when it does take off, it looks pretty good. I love the Ten of Wands. This is showing some new opportunities on the horizon for you, particularly when it comes to business. And there might be someone new coming into your life. I've got double fire energy here because in the outcome, we have the Knight of Wands. So you could have a beautiful sort of fire sign coming into your life and just take care of yourself. For some of you, this could be a love interest. The card is reversed, which means timing may be off a little bit for you. So, as I said earlier, respect what makes sense for you and that person. Give it time to develop. As we look at your ego this month, you have a lot of great energy around friends, relatives, and loved ones. The Six of Cups can be, I talked at the beginning about spending time with your family. This can be a brother, a sister, a parent. It can also be a child. Usually there's children in the picture. So, and we see one here, a smaller child. So if there's someone in your life that you care about that happens to be younger and you want to spend a little more time with them, take some time this month. It's great. It's also about your inner child. And for some of you, there might be some healing to go on to overcome this Four of Pentacles moment in your past with your inner child. And once you do that, then you start to pull in higher frequency relationships. This is a great card if you're going to meet somebody new, because this shows either that it's from the past or there's a sense of familiarity or it's a soulmate. I love getting Six of Cups in a reading for love, and so I just want to encourage you to embrace that if it comes into your life. There is something that I feel like you have to overcome this month, though, because when I'm looking at your environment, we have the moon in reverse. And this is usually about making sure that if there is a fear, a doubt, an uncertainty, or something that you have been sort of knowing that you need to deal with, but not necessarily facing head to head, this is the time to do it. It also is showing me that for many of you, that period of waiting to that period of movement is probably just one lunar cycle from the time that you see this reading. This is also about being honest. And if there's someone in your life, particularly a partner, this could be an existing partner where there's a trust issue that's sort of coming through, you've got to face that head on with them. And I do think that there's a chance for reconciliation and forgiveness depending on which side of the coin you're on, because we have the Six of Cups in the ego, which means you love this person, you can forgive them, you can see past this, or vice versa. At the very least, you have to open up. That's the other thing with the Four of Pentacles is just to open the heart space. Speak from the heart. If you have to apologize to someone, it's better to do it now than to wait, because things kind of have a way of compounding. So seek out that forgiveness. And I see something positive on the horizon. We have the Three of Wands here. So if you're looking for that, I see that coming through. It's reversed, but FYI, I love this card no matter what. It's showing that whatever it is that you're trying to bring into creation, into fruition, it will happen. And I love that she's kind of looking in a crystal ball here, and you can see a beautiful bright horizon. She's also embodying that energy in that sign, or I'm sorry, in this card. There's also a slight travel element or essence to this, just like the Ten of Wands. So again, if you've been thinking of taking a trip, a holiday, or if your business is something that you'd like to kind of take on more of a global scale, I think this is a good time to explore those opportunities. Your outcome card, Knight of Wands. Again, there's a chance that you could be working with a fire sign or meeting or loving a fire sign this month. For those of you that are single and happily single, retired, or a student, and you're just wondering how does this relate to you, this is a good month to share ideas. If you have this sort of business plan that you want to bring out there and share with someone, do it. Just take your time, as I said earlier, to get everything ready, and I feel like there's a lot of value in it. If it's more about retirement, then what this is what do I want to do to occupy my mind and my energy and my time? And it's probably about getting out of your surroundings and trying something new. Travel keeps coming through time and again with all of these. Even the turtle card, like I said, it's a Fool energy, but the difference between taking a vacation with like the turtle and the Fool is you want to take a nice slow vacation. This isn't one where you're going to have 10 items on your list. When we combine these two cards here, I think that the main information is to go somewhere for a couple weeks if you've banked up that amount of time, or make sure that you're not on a tour bus. This would be something where you just want to really take in the sights and the sounds. If you don't have the time to do that, this is also about making sure that you just get out and do some walking, hiking, or exploration of your local city and take in the sights and sounds there. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. You can keep it local, but getting outside in the elements is going to be a really great thing. So you have some exciting energy this month. And surprisingly, I would say from all the other signs that the message is slow it down. And then I see as you go towards the end of the month, it will naturally pick up. So just let the signs and symbols around you dictate when it's time to sort of click into the next gear, and you'll know to do that. But until then, enjoy any sort of reprieve that you get. And if your month is already really kind of crazy at the beginning, then just make some time and take the break, because slowing down is part of the message no matter what's going on for you. All right, let's go ahead and expand your forecast. We'll begin with your health card. For me, health is not just what's going on in your body, it's also what's going on in your mind, in your emotions, and in your energy. So we'll give the cards a shuffle and see what's coming through for you. Your message this month is trust. From a physical perspective, looking at your body, this is really about trusting how you feel. If something doesn't feel right, don't do it. If you feel like you need to get something checked out, don't delay on that. Interesting that I brought up the Fool earlier. This card is a reimagined version of the Fool. You'll see it has 0 with it. So there's also a sort of warning or an element of the Fool, which is watch where you're going. And I mentioned that earlier, so be careful, be mindful. This extends to all forms of movement and transportation. So whether you're driving, walking, hiking, motorcycling, I don't care. Just kind of really be aware of your surroundings. This isn't the time to be on a mobile device, reading a book, or distracted. Stay focused on the task at hand, and that's going to serve you well. There's also a little factor of change that goes on with this card, and trusting in the energy of change and transformation, which we also saw here at the center. So be willing and able to try new things, maybe trying a new routine for your health or your exercise or diet, and seeing how that feels, and trusting then if that is right for you. Just taking your time and really tuning in to what your body, your mind, and your spirit is saying. But overall, change and movement, and I like that in the health area. Before we move on to your wealth message, I do want to mention one more thing. We had the 4 of Pentacles card in reverse here, and again, I talked about how that's a card where you're holding on to things. I really want you to pay attention to how stress is affecting you. Of course, particularly on how it's kind of tightening around the heart space this month. Anything that you can do for stress reduction is going to be great, especially for hypertension. So if you have any family history of high blood pressure, heart disease, etc., definitely get a checkup, talk to your doctor about that. If you're just feeling heavy stress in your life, do something that will allow for you to unwind, whether that's acupuncture, a massage, just making time to go to the gym. Do that. It's going to serve you very well, and it's going to help you in the long run, because this is a marker for things that can come down the line, and I want you all to stay healthy and happy. All right, let's look at wealth now. Wealth, of course, includes not just money, but also how you're either attracting opportunities or reacting to them when they come into your life. In your wealth card, we have caretaker. The card was reversed. This is about reclaiming power. And for some of you, the reason that this came through is because you have a big heart and you're giving away a lot of time, energy, and affection here. The Empress card is really about supporting others, helping them achieve everything that's going on in their life, loving them possibly to a fault. And if that happens, if you're the one that's doing that, it's time now to pull back a little bit, let people grow, because when we do that, when we're either very maternal or paternal and kind of bring them in and do everything that we can for them, we don't always let them rise to the occasion and develop the skills and the survival techniques that they need. So I'm very much speaking of adults and capable people around you. So if you're doing that still, let go a little bit and put that energy instead on yourself. And do whatever you need to do to get further along, because we talked about this sort of being, I think this is a very long distance run that you're headed on. There's a beautiful finish line for you because we have the Three of Wands. But it's time now to redirect and put some of the energy on your own endeavors. So be careful. This is in wealth. So this could be about giving too much time, too much energy, or too much money to people that may not be reinvesting that in you. So look at the give and take and make sure that it makes sense. Some of you might also be needing to take care of your children, or you might be an older child taking care of your parent. And this could put a little stress on you. If you're a caretaker and you're finding yourself just needing some assistance, don't be afraid to lean on someone else in your life. Maybe a sibling, maybe your partner, maybe someone else that you care about, and say, I need help, and see if they can kind of put you in the right direction. Because sometimes caretakers don't put the proper care on their own body, on their own situation, and things can kind of fall apart, and you don't want that to happen. This health card right underneath it is also one of needing to move and needing to be free. So there's almost this untethering or breakthrough that could happen for some of you. And when you let go of this person or this thing that you've been putting all of the energy in, all of a sudden, I think this is when the Knight of Wands moment could happen for you, when you just feel like, oh my gosh, I can actually do what I'm trying to do. So it's almost like removing an umbilical cord with a person, place, or thing that no longer needs the energy, but you were so comfortable in doing that you forgot. So this is a month to release the cord and see what happens. All right, let's take a look now at your love situation and see what's going on for relationships. We've already looked at this caretaker one, so I'm curious to see if there's any connection in this or if it's just about relationships overall. This isn't just romantic relationships. You probably figured that out if you've seen a few of my monthlies, but it bears repetition. So this is really about how you are dealing with people that you care about in your life. So we have a recovery card. And it is reversed, which is about not rushing things, and that some of you may even experience a few setbacks or some challenges this month. It could be with you or with someone in your life. So this can also mean about sort of like getting through. We talked about forgiveness earlier, or we talked about learning about something going on that takes a while for you to sort of deal with it. Give yourself the time that's needed and try to suspend judgment a little bit, because this one almost reminds me of the Judgment card, where you see Gabriel kind of looking down on a situation and feeling like the whole world is shifting, or that this is the end of things. This is actually the beginning of things. It's the beginning of you feeling better. And I feel like for some of you, setting limits could be part of it. For the rest of you, maybe this is feeling like you're, for the first time in a long time, ready to love again or open yourself up. I saw that there was a big healing in the heart space this month. And so whether it comes from forgiveness on either side of the coin, whether it comes from literally getting through some sort of an addiction or recovery, or you're just feeling better, this heart opening that is going to happen towards the end of the month is going to be fantastic, and you can kind of use that passion in any part of your life. So I'm excited to see that card for you. Let's now check in on your destiny. For me, destiny is not so much like set in stone. This is more of a GPS, where if you like the direction in which you're headed, you can absolutely stay on that path. If you feel like you want to make some adjustments, this card will help you understand how to do so. So let's pull the camera down and see what's coming through for destiny. And it says visions of life beyond death, which is all about transformative energy, which is something that we talked about right at that center again with the Empress. Sometimes in order to create, we have to release, to destroy, or to rebuild. This could be one of the most gentlest sort of tower or death or transformation cards that I've ever seen, but it's showing the overall cycle of destruction, creation, birth, death, rebirth. So understand that wherever you are in this process this month, that there is no hard stop, there is no end. You're somewhere on the continuum, and if you let go of something, you can begin a new cycle of creation. But you are gonna need some time to sort of like let everything sink in this month, and that's why your crowning card was the Four of Swords. You have a beautiful spread this month. A lot of change, a lot of gentle energy, a chance to let your heart heal. I really like it. Let's review everything that we talked about, and then we will wrap everything up. All right, as I said at the beginning, your channeled information was pacing. Watch the pacing, make sure that you're taking time, step by step. Don't get ahead of yourself. That was one thing that I saw too. And we saw this in a few places here, but also watch your step and make sure that you don't, through either being distracted or being hurried, hurt yourself or hurt someone else or make a mistake. All right, I'm going to pull the camera down now and leave it down for all of this, and we'll talk about all of the cards one more time and their positions. Your Catalyst card this month embodies everything that we were just talking about, plus that gentle nature of the Fool, which is you have everything that you need to survive. This is a very hardy card. Like if for any of you that have a garden, you know that some things can last through a difficult season. You can last through whatever is coming your way, and this card is showing that you have that perseverance. Four of Pentacles, you have a chance to heal the heart space this month, and we saw that when we looked at relationships. The Empress card, which carries so many meanings and really touches everything, so it's kind of fitting that she's right at the center here, but it's about this process of transformation. It's about ownership and reclamation of power. It's about divinity and also fertility. You have the ability to change, to be the alchemist this month, and to really set a new direction and a new course. Feels like even if you felt like there's something wrong at present with the speed with which things are happening, I feel like you've done the work necessary to create wealth, opportunity in your life. So just own that and embrace it. With relationships, don't be afraid to ask if you need something. We saw the Caretaker card, and now we have the Lovers in reverse. Both of these are talking about you not sort of feeling tapped out, and that's supported by the Four of Swords energy at the top here. It's really important to rest. It's really important to take care of yourself. Movement is inevitable. Yes, it's slow towards the beginning, but as we look at near future and distant future, this turtle isn't going to stick around forever. I feel like there's a lot of movement on the horizon. That includes travel for some of you. I see some, when we're looking at the recovery card and the forgiveness here, I think that there'll be a chance to save some relationships that might be sort of not in the place that you want them to be. I also think that there's a chance to have new love come into your life if you're ready for it. I love your ego this month. The card is all about connecting to the past, healing that child within, celebrating new things. For some of you, maybe it's a birth, or it's a reunion with someone, or it's a soulmate that comes into your life. No matter what, the Six of Cups in the soul space is fantastic. Your expanded forecast is reminding you in your health area to really trust what's going on, trust the way that you feel, listen to your body, your mind, and your intuition above all else, and again, to be careful in movement. Looking at wealth, if you're putting a lot of energy or money or resources into someone else, make sure that you're getting enough back. And when it comes to money, we didn't get a lot here with money, but I will say this. It looks like you might be challenged a little bit towards the middle and beginning of the month to have to invest in someone else. I do think that eventually this comes back to you. You're going to find a way to focus on your own development, but there's something at the beginning of the month that requires your attention and your resources. As we look at love, the message was all about recovery, but also not having too much judgment on a situation, understanding that you're really in the middle of a new process, a reboot, if you will, and that's what this final card was talking about. Remember that to allow for growth to happen, you have to sometimes let go of things, and this is a month where you're going to make some choices. What do you want to focus on? Who do you want to keep in your life? Where do you want to move your attention and your resources towards instead? And knowing that once you've made those decisions, that the power again sits with you. So that brings your reading to a close for this month. I hope that it gave you what you needed in order to feel a sense of empowerment and hope, and understanding for everything that comes through. If you ever feel like you want to talk a little bit more in depth, since this is a general reading, perhaps about a big decision or about something else if life throws you a curveball, I would be more than happy then to set up some time and talk with you. And a way that you can check rates and availability is to click on the first card in the video or the first link below the video. That'll take you to my booking site and you can make an appointment there. If you simply like what you see here and you would like to give back, there's a very easy way to do that. You can click on the second card or the second link. This will take you to my website. From there, you can either do a one-time donation or you can join me on Patreon, and both ways really help keep this channel alive and well. The support that you guys give me there allows me to continue to buy supplies and, most importantly, just to set up the time to do these videos. So please, if you've ever felt like you wanted to do it before, give it a try and know that it makes a big impact here and it means a lot to me. Finally, if you like what you see here, feel free to subscribe and like as well. And know that if you join me on social media, I'd love for you to share the messages there too. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and your word of mouth really makes a difference in sharing this message and spreading the light across this planet. I talk a lot about all of us being potential light workers, and what I'm trying to do each month is to sort of spark that energy within you. It's kind of like the candles that I have behind me. When you share that message, you allow someone else to kind of find that light, and that really makes me happy, and know that I appreciate you for doing that. I like to end every video with a little bit of information just for you, specific to this sign. I just cleared the cards and I want to just talk to you just basically heart to heart and soul to soul. So much of your energy this month and messages this month centered around taking your time, trusting yourself, and really reclaiming your power. That last card that we looked at was also about the sort of understanding that there never really is an end or a feeling that things are over. No matter where you are in your path or in your life, this month could be a reset or a reboot, which could open up some beautiful things for you. We had all of those, like the 10 of Wands and Knight of Wands energy towards the end of the month and towards the future. So I really feel like the months ahead for you and the year ahead is really exciting. So work through the issues around self-confidence, pace yourself, take your time, be present, and know that what's coming forward for you is really, really beautiful. So just allow it to unfold. There is a big message of patience and trust that came through as well. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your journey. I look forward to seeing how all of this works out for you, and I'll see you again really soon. Take care, and until next month.